How's it going, everyone? Got a lot to cover in this video. Unfortunately, yet another PlayStation store and PlayStation game has been delisted forever. Should have mentioned this earlier, but you guys know there was a lot of stuff to cover over the last couple of weeks with 8 billion sales running and the holidays and everything like that. But do want to go over the game being delisted. Want to talk a little bit about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We got a new trailer for the game, and it's one of those games that I feel like isn't getting a ton of buzz right now. I think Ubisoft kind of poorly handled the reveal of the game and some other aspects. $50 might be a little bit of a, high price threshold for the game as well, but there is a demo coming out soon, and it does look very good. So we'll talk about that, and Ben Studio, a bit of an update on them as they've been one of the more quiet Sony studios. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. First of all, Friday the 13th, the game is no longer buyable on the PlayStation Store. Obviously, if you do have the game in your library, it is yours to own. It is an asymmetrical multiplayer game, so the thing here is that the servers are going to remain up and the game will remain fully playable until at least December the 31st of 2024. So they're going to keep the servers up for another year or so. However, this was the tweet they put out back in June of 2023. I gotta get used to saying June of last year, May of last year, all that stuff. It's still early into 2024, guys. Friday the 13th, the game expiration of license. So this is a licensing agreement issue. This is a reality. Whenever you talk about licensed games, you gotta renew these agreements so you can keep selling the game. The time has come. Our license for Friday the 13th will expire on December 31st, 2023. On that date, Friday the 13th, the game will no longer be available for sale, both physically and digitally. Obviously, as far as physical goes, you can find copies that people already have, secondhand copies, essentially. The game will, however, continue to function through at least December 31st of 2024 if you already own it. At this time, we've made the decision to reduce the price to $4.99 for the base game and 99 cents for each DLC. Obviously, that's no longer viable anymore. They ended that statement by saying, "We would like to thank our community for the dedication they've shown to Friday the 13th, the game, and Gun Interactive as a whole, and we're happy the game will live on a while longer and can be continued to be enjoyed by anyone owning the game already." This tweet got quite a lot of traction, 13 million views and 93,000 likes back in June of 2023. So obviously there was an audience for this game, and Friday the 13th is a very notable IP, but again, the reality with licensed games, and we talked about GT Sport getting pulled recently, is that these licensing agreements do in fact ultimately expire. This is going to be a reality with any licensed game. Now, in the case of, like, let's say a Bandai Namco who has the license to do the Dragon Ball games, they're going to keep that license perpetually and continue to do games, and there's different licensing agreements that are worked out, etc., etc. But in the case of Friday the 13th, the game, it is no longer available. It's also, like, one of the reasons, I believe, because Ubisoft does not have the license anymore to do the Naruto games. Naruto, obviously, now is Bandai Namco property in terms of they're the ones creating the games. There are two great Naruto games that are just stuck on the Xbox 360. They were Ubisoft-published games, Naruto Rise of the Ninja and Broken Bond. I don't think we're ever going to get, like, a remastered collection of those games, but those games were freaking awesome, and they're just lost forever. But yeah, that over. It's just one of those things. When we talk about licensed games, I think about Naruto Rise of the Ninja, Broken Bond, and, of course, Transformers, War for Cybertron, and Fall of Cybertron, two excellent games or series there that no longer are going to be playable, and I imagine both are going for not obscenely expensive prices on eBay, but I would imagine they're both elevated price points on eBay. Moving on from that, Prince of Persia is going to be getting a brand new title in just under 2 weeks with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. There will be a demo available on January the 11th, so you'll be able to play a little bit of the game, and we did have a new trailer just dropped, the World Overview trailer, giving us some insight into the story and world background. Now, the issue with this game is I think the handling of it was pretty poor. First of all, you had a pretty bad trailer at Summer Game Fest with, I don't even know what song, why they used the song they did for that trailer, but people were just gonna meme on that. I don't know how Ubisoft does not see this stuff coming, because Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown legitimately looks like a really good game, but they totally fumbled the bag in terms of how they went about revealing the game. Also, as far as POP as an IP goes, a lot of people want the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. A lot of people want to hear an update about that game because it's mostly, I think most people would consider it to be the best Prince of Persia game ever released, and the idea of a remake was exciting, and then it went into dev hell, etc., etc. And Lost Crown is a $49.99 title, which for an action platformer like this is a little bit of a hard sell. Yes, there were games like Sonic Superstars that came out at 60 bucks, but that game hit the bargain bin pretty freaking quickly. Prince of Persia is a Ubisoft published game, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit the bargain bin pretty quickly as well. But the game itself, I think, looks really good. It looks incredibly slick, incredibly stylish, and if nothing else, try out the demo when it comes out on January 11th, because I think a lot of people are gonna be pleasantly surprised by it. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown dash into a stylish and thrilling action-adventure platformer game set in a mythological Persian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate. Unleash your inner warrior, use your time powers, combat, and platforming skills to perform deadly combos and defeat time-corrupted enemies and mythological creatures. Acquire and equip new amulets at shopkeepers to play as you see fit. And lose yourself in the Mountain Oath. Discover a cursed Persian-inspired world filled with bigger-than-life landmarks. Explore a variety of highly detailed biomes, such each with its own identity, wonders, and dangers, and you'll have a variety of puzzles as well. Embark on a carefully crafted experience, and there will be a deluxe edition that... do we really gotta add the play early gimmick for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown? But in fact, it will have the play early gimmick. You can play it 3 days early, or as most of you guys know, you can play it the day that you should be able to play it. Those of you that dare to spend only $50, you'll have to wait an additional 3 days. Guys, this is a single-player game. Like, come on, man. Like, why are we doing the early access gimmick for a game that already I have a question mark on how it's gonna, like, I get it, like, these decisions are not made by me, it's not made by the developers, it's made by Ubisoft and higher-ups that, you know, who knows if they play video games, but, man, they gotta monetize. Like, this is just nonsense, man. For a game like this, adding the early access gimmick to it, like, come on, man. But, yeah, I'm not about to have a meltdown right now about that, although I just did. If you do pre-order the game, you get a Prince of Persia warrior with an outfit as well, but, there you go with that. Try out the demo on January 11th, I believe it's out, and January 12th is when the early access is going to be, 15th for the official release. Lastly, want to briefly note, Ben Studio responded to a tweet yesterday of somebody asking them, "Sup, how's the new IP going?" And they just responded, "We cookin'." So, if you think, they responded in regards to the tweet specifically saying, "How's the new IP going?" So, I don't think Days Gone 2 is in development, guys. I don't think I need to be the bearer of bad news on that one, but I know a lot of you guys really want Days Gone 2. You've got a Days Gone adaptation coming out. I believe a film is coming out of that. That's pretty cool, and if that does well, who knows? Maybe we'll one day get a Days Gone 2, but I find it highly, highly unlikely. It is unfortunate because Days Gone, if you take out the technical issues, which is pretty much taken out, or at least it's alleviated quite a bit on the PS5 and PC versions of the game, Days Gone is so much better than that Metacritic score will have it. I think it's at like a 73 or a 74 somewhere, which is a totally respectable score, but the Sony standard is if you're below an 85, you could pretty much go into the trash bin, and 85 ain't even enough for some of these games. They gotta be an 88, a 90, 90 plus is really the threshold Sony wants to hit, but, and I get it, a lot of publishers care about the Metacritic score, but Days Gone was a good game. And, again, the better versions on PC and PS5 make it so much better. But, yeah, as far as Days Gone 2, it looks like Ben Studio is going to be working on a new IP that is, chances are, taking the foundational elements of Days Gone and what Ben Studio learned from doing an open-world game like Days Gone, because remember, prior to that, they had worked on like Siphon Filter games and Uncharted Golden Abyss. Days Gone was a big, major title and probably a huge learning experience for them with a game with that kind of budget attached to it, but they learned about open world games, and it looks like this game is going to have some sort of multiplayer, folks, which I know is already going to scare off a ton of people, and they're already going to be very, very worried from that regard, but multiplayer inherently isn't a bad thing. It's just the idea of like the live service gimmick getting thrown in and all that nonsense. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, Friday the 13th, the game delisted forever, no longer buyable. It will be playable till at least the end of this year. Prince Persia: The Lost Crown demo on January 11th. Bit of an update on that. Absolutely hate the fact that this game is doing the early access gimmick, but man, feels like Ubisoft is just gonna do that with a lot of games going forward. And Ben Studio, bit of an update on them. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.